Today, we are very excited to engage in the conversation with Mr. Anas Aljuaidi, CEO of MMEC Mannesmann. Thank you so much, Ms. Anas, for joining us at this interview and also at the Connecting Green Hydrogen Manner.
Thank you very much for having me, and good morning to you.
Thank you, Ms. Anas. So for those who may not be very familiar with Mannesmann, can you briefly walk us through the company journey, how it's related to hydrogen?
Great. First of all, my name is Anas Aljuaidi. I'm the CEO of MMEC Mannesmann LLC. Mannesmann, it's a 100% Emirati company working in the sector of oil and gas and energy in general. We started our business here in UAE since more than 16 years, and we are very well known in the market as oil and gas company. However, starting from 2020, the company started the journey in the hydrogen and the renewables, where we start to establish our departments of renewables. We start to bid for the new project. We start to have an expertise in order to start support our mission and vision of the country for the green hydrogen and the renewables in general. So we was blessed last year to get the first projects in the renewables, and which was the first hydrogen refueling station with a high-speed refueling. And that was, to be honest, a big challenge for us, where Mannesmann does not build such units before. It's similar to a lot of ongoing projects that we have, but to talk about hydrogen itself, there is a lot of, let's say, challenges that you can face. One of those challenges is that might be the authorities' approval, which we will talk about it maybe later. So, but what I need to highlight is that we accepted the challenge, and we built with 5.5 months, 5 months and a half, the first hydrogen refueling station from scratch. The time was challenged, the authority approvals was challenged. The unit was demonstrated in the COP28, and a lot of visitors, they came and they saw a very beautiful, efficient units refueled around 15 hydrogen cars per day. So from that perspective, we started really to gain more experience, to gain more attention to the renewables and hydrogen. Our departments for the renewables has been expanded 3 times since only 1.5 years, in terms of number, in terms of budgets, and in terms of tendering. And we are really looking forward that in 2026, 2027, we should have minimum 50% of our business from the renewables or versus the fossil and oil and gas. So that is about our journey. That's about what we really are doing.
Accompany the opportunity, there are also a lot of challenges, and that's why we need brave pioneers like Mannesmann to champion the UAE transition, the MENA transition. So you joined one of our most prominent sessions yesterday, that is MENA as the largest hydrogen supplier, establishing global hydrogen trade network. So before the conversation, what was your key message for this topic?
The key message for us that any new market, regardless to which sector, it's need really to be the first, or let's put it in this way, the most success key points for any new market, it's the cooperation between the companies and the international companies. So for us was very clear that as we need really to say that as an EPC contractor, we see that we will never be able to do anything if we will not have partners with us, where 80 to 85% of the cost of the project, it will come from the EPC. But even though there is still 10 to 15% out of our hand. When it's come to hydrogen production, for example, Mannesmann can do the entire EPC. However, there is still electrolyzer need to be purchased. Today, the electrolyzer, it's not made by the same supply who is manufacturing the steel and stack. So then the electrolyzer manufacturer or assembly need to have a contract or need to have, let's say, an agreement or partnership with a steel stack producer. So then you have steel stack producer, then you have an electrolyzer manufacturer, and then you have EPC contractor. The EPC contractor cannot do anything unless there is an off-taker of this project. The off-taker cannot do anything unless there is an off-taker for the hydrogen. The hydrogen off-taker cannot do anything if there is no infrastructure. So all of those is a potential cooperation between companies. So the main key message that we want to really address in such beautiful, fruitful events, that's without having such cooperation between companies, we will never be able to hold the 1.5 degrees and will not be able to really reach our targets by reducing 30% of the entire globe, 25 to 30% from the entire globe emissions, and zero emissions by 2050, 2045. So, and to be honest, the message was crystal clear to everyone, and the people really have the same opinion. We started since yesterday a very intensive cooperation with international companies. Today, my mail was filled with a new names and new opportunities for us. So that's we can see, let's say, that is directly, it came after the session yesterday.
Yes, and also the session is joined by many renowned stakeholders like EDF, Marubeni, BAS. After their conversation, any new thoughts or their points is more like reinforced your point?
Look, I mean, what our panel discussion yesterday was really, let's say, special, because as you just mentioned correctly, it wasn't only from one sector. So in the panel was operators, developers, EPC contractors, off-takers, and technology providers. So 5 different sectors and elements. So when we finished and we get the picture, so I was discussing about, so we are a project. So we, as a 6 company, really we can develop projects. That's, of course, they have the same idea of the cooperation, and without such cooperation, we will never be able to reach to where we need to reach. And I gave yesterday a good example for the cooperation. And I used United Arab Emirates as an example of the cooperation. Look at United Arab Emirates, established from 7 Emirates. And those Emirates, every Emirates was before a country. So after they cooperate together, look where they reach today, within 50 years. So that is a very good example to everyone to see that is with the cooperation with the others, open mindset, think loud, out of the box, you will be able really to reach to where you need to reach and to achieve whatever you want to achieve.
Yes, very well said. And the last question to wrap up this interview, one keyword I heard about throughout the conference is time. We need to act now, we need to act faster. So if there's one piece of advice you can give for the industry to enable faster growth,
yes,
what would it be?
Look, I'm more optimistic. I must say that is, and I don't see that as we are moving slow. I see that as the market is moving and the speed that's the market need to move on it for the time being. Of course, always people they would like and to wish more and more, but again, don't forget this sector is a very sensitive. We are talking about the most important sector in the world, energy sector. Health sector is important. Other sector, they are important also, but the most important sector is really the energy, because energy can within one day, I mean, not ship to any country, or due to that any new regulation that's the other country cannot purchase, then the entire country will stop. So energy sector is most important sector. So that is by logic to take a decision in such sensitive sector will not be that easy for any stakeholders. So what I need only to say that everyone need to be patient. I think a lot of projects, they are really coming. Every year, look at your conference, for example. So that was the third conference in green hydrogen MENA. And if you look at the participants from the first year to today, it might be doubled because I attended the first and now the third. And you can see that is the double or the triple of the attendees they are here. That's give you a clear message that says the world is moving. However, a lot of sensitive decisions need to be made in order to move forward, and that will not be an easy and short time. So this plan is a long-term plan. So, and I hope that is we will be able to achieve at least our target for 2030 and 2050. And I'm 100% sure the companies and governments and all of the authorities, they will be able to really cooperate together in order to achieve to that. But we need to be patient.